Hi folks, welcome back to the FrostyWhiskers, and thank you to the person that pointed out that I hadn't marked some of the trees to be cut, which is why there are some birches up here. One of you has had a freaking devious idea, or given me a devious idea. I'm going to take it as a combined credit, and I just want to see if it... I know it's ground only. A combined devious idea wouldn't work. So the suggestion was whether these could be put on a raised power thing to maximize the available ground use. But Lapan has foiled us by making them ground only. Damn you, sir. Damn you. So no, we can't make more efficient use of the ground, which is fine. So that's okay. He has foiled us again. So what I want to try and do today is predominantly work towards having the large brain. You good folks, or one of you, is also correct. This is not drought proof at all. We can't put it in deeper water. We have no real way of holding back water there's no dams in this faction. We could put it over here. That would help. The droughts are relatively short, so I think we're somewhat okay. It does look like we need to put a network control signal nearer. Or we have so much science that what we could do is replace the small tower with a bigger tower. So I think we'll do that. Let's disconnect you, unlock the larger building, tuck that in here, and I'm kind of hoping that that's going to reconnect all of our power, but I guess we'll need to have a little look and see where the power connections are. And maybe we need to change that a little bit. I don't think your power connection. So your power connection, but let's get rid of you. And then we'll get you built, and then you don't have power, but that'll be fine. Hopefully we've got most of the stuff for that. I did say we wanted to stockpile nano machines, but we seem to have quite a lot of nano machines, which is cool. Because I think that we are going to make another bot. We'll put 6 workers in there because we have 6 spare workers. So let's run on triple speed. Seems very fast. Let's run on double speed. Double speed is fine, I think. Let's have a look. We've got copper being processed, although we don't actually have any copper. And I guess until we get this reconnected, we're not going to have any. But this is almost built. We need some nuclear waste. So let's liberate some nuclear waste. Yes, please. And then if we have a look at the heat, we can replace those with some not so electric campfires. And I guess we could rip that out and put those there. You. Put you there. Yep. It's 1. They do need connections to power, so I'm going to put the other one there. And you can go there, and you have now lost us our power connection. Doing that is not a good idea. No. Bad idea. Let's not put that there. Let's instead come along here to here and put a couple of those there and do that. Not ideal, but it'll do a job. It'll do a job. I guess the alternative is can we get power? We can get power out of there. Yeah. Let's not do that either. I am being decisively indecisive today. I've been somewhat decisive today, actually. And some things that have been annoying me, and I've decided to address them. Yeah. So what we could do is power, universal power rail. You have power there. The forester flag, because it plants forests, is there. You can go. Horizontal power rail there. And I think we'll run a bunch of well-being along here, because it's not that far from the accommodation. But let's get other stuff done first. This is in, and this gives us a giant network signal, which is kind of good. Awesome. So we'll let them get that built, and then we'll build the other things. That's not all hooked up yet, because we need to redo that. And for that, we need some copper. And we're not currently processing copper because we've used a bunch of the copper. So let's do some strip mining. We actually have a piece that's ready to be strip mined there. So maybe if we take that out as well. And let's do those bits as a prioritar. You will respect my prioritar. Yeah, that'd be good. We've got a lot of nano machines. We can make one more bot, which will be fine. And then what we want to do is we want to come over here. Power. Water wheel. 110 is probably plenty. But we'll put in 2. We'll do you. So we'll pause you. We'll get those built. We actually have a network signal there, which is kind of convenient. And actually, we have power all the way out here, so maybe we don't need to bother with that. No, let's not bother with that. This was all kind of a wasted effort, to be honest, because we've got so much power generation now that we really don't need to bother with that. What we can do instead is start working on the access that we need, which is that. And let's get rid of the slightly overly wonky path. Do that. There we go. So you can start working on building that. Let's rip out all of that, and then we can reconnect the power and get this running again. Be lovely. Thanking you. Do we have a bot yet? No, let's make the bot slightly quicker. The more beavers you put into the tent, obviously, the quicker they can build it. And currently I have the capacity limited to 9 because of the previous issue that we have. And every time I reinstall the mod, because I keep switching between lists, I forget that I need to edit it. So, yeah, that's the thing. Now, the copper cable counts as a building, which I also forget. So, right, you're done for now. We have 6 whole bots. So let's get you in a builder flag. And we now have 7 spare. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. I think that we should look at building the hand of soup. So I'm going to bring a path out here. Storage. Yeah. I get you there. I can. Get you there, and that's going to let us store a lot more soup, which will be good. And then over here, is it a pile we want for explosives? It's a warehouse. I'm going to put in a small warehouse for explosives because we have a lot of explosivesing to do very soon. And I think we probably want to have, at least at the base of this, a network tower. That'll be useful, I think, because we're going to have a lot of building going on over here. And let's run at triple speed now, I think. And we should have enough copper now to be able to get that in and running. So yeah, we don't need to worry now about doing strip mining. I did the little cut because I needed to move my boom arm and it was making noises, and I think that would have been annoying for me, so it's probably annoying for you. Right, is that the farmer flag? It is. Let's just save just in case we have any issues. And then I am going to automate it. So we want a ready to collect greater than or equal to 1. Resume, save, and we want a ready to plant greater than or equal to 1. Save, and then we open that up. Let's copy you, or Control V, save, discard, close, duplicate, invert, save. Hey, saves us a beaver, although we have quite a lot of beavers at the moment, and we can probably now pause because we're caught up a few of the lumberjacks. So yeah, we just have a lot of spare beavers at the moment, which is fine. I think, therefore I am, we're going to add some, let's process some gold. Let's also process some metal parts because we've got the workforce for that. I'm going to add some nuclear fuel. There's no way currently to get that, and then we're going to make some more bots. And I think this should just start taking this should just start taking the soup out of here and putting it in here and keep these running. So we should start stockpiling a lot of soup, which is kind of cool. Much soup is good. All right, so we're up here now. So the first thing that we want to do is, let's grab you. We're going to come up here to here. And then we're going to come down here. We're going to start demolishing those. Yeah. We'll do it that way. That'll work. That'll work. That will be okay. We can probably pause you. Is there anything else we need? Bots to do some more carbon fibers might not be a bad idea. And I'm going to unpause you and get you cutting down some of these ice blocks. Fine. We do need embryos, so let's do that. That going again. Right, so that's out, and we'll demolish that one. So what I want to do is reroute this bad water source this way. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. It might make sense to actually build a where are you? Repair station here as well. Path so that we can repair and recharge over here. Make sure you're prioritized by haulers. Demolish you. We are going to need to get round here. And I think probably the easiest way to do that is going to be with a bridge once this block is gone. And yeah, I know I'm demolishing a thing that would have got us across the gap to replace it with something to get across the gap. But we also need fluid to be able to flow. So, you know. And then we have 200 odd rock. So let's use rock for this. That should be fine. That will let them build that, and that will then send the bad water this way. So that's that bit. And then the plan is to essentially explode all of this out. So we're going to have to build a whole load of bridges. I'm going to strip mine that so we get a straight line through there. Okay, no, that's not. So maybe we do the same here. Maybe we do you and then you. Connect you into there, connect you into there. And I guess just for simplicity, I'm going to delete that tree. I should. Too far from a district. I did not put path to join those. There we go. Awesome. Good stuff. So we then want to come over here, grab some more power line. Actually, run that along there, and then get our electric fires and start putting those in, because that will save us some trees, which is good. Save the trees, folks. And we have our first cabbages as well. So if we come over to our cook tents, we have, so we just eat the cabbages. But we might want to put in another tent for the grilled bugs at this point. So we'll do that. We'll do that. You are supposed to be making carbon fibers. You are. That's okay. We'll let those build up a little bit of a stockpile. That's being built, which is great. You probably need to be prioritized so they actually remove it. And given that we're starting to strip mine a lot, let's pause you. Because the strip mining is going to generate a huge amount of resources. Probably more than we can use. So, right. You, and I'm assuming, but I can't remember if it's the case, that the same rules apply for strip mining placement as explosives placement. I'm really hoping that is the case. You're almost in. Now, I don't necessarily need to do this first, but and the reason I'm doing this is because we need to build a big storage of bad water to keep the brain running during bad tides. So I'm going to extend this out all the way out to here. is the plan. So probably what we should do is build some storages. 600. Yeah, so let's put you there. I don't know if this is the right one, actually. Yeah, we'll put our metal parts in, because we're going to be getting a load of those. And then we want piles. Large, actually, because that makes them stackable, which is good. I need more space. Put you there. You are going to be for copper. Why not? There we go. So that's that doing its thing. So we can now delete you, delete you, delete you, and recover those bits. We need plastic panes. We've got plastic panes, but let's make some more plastic panes. We're grilling the bugs. Although you're making fish oil because you have those rules applied, you're going to be making grilled bugs. We do have fish oil. Yeah, we want to be making grilled bugs because that's a well-being thing. That I've not made at this point yet, so I'm curious as to how big a bonus it is. Yeah. Right. Back over here. So this guy's in, so you can go, you can go, you can go. We'll copy you, put you in. Make sure you are prioritized by haulers. Copy you, put you in. And then we can grab you and put you the other side. And actually make use of the power we are providing, which is awesome. Good stuff. You have your nano machines, which is cool. We actually have 300 odd nano machines, so that's good. We have 14 gold bars, so you can probably be paused. We have a lot of that. We have a lot of that. We have some beaver spare, so let's get another bot being made. That's all in, so I think now is the time to begin the process of doing much exploding. So you are going to be an obtain and are prioritized by haulers. Looks like we need a storage for ice blocks, so let's unlock the large ice block storage. Set you to be ice blocks. There we go. And excavation, strip mining. Actually, let's delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you. And yes, I know I could use the delete tool to do that. Normally I would, but hey. The thing you make from grass. We're going to be getting a lot of ice, so we should use ice blocks to extend you out. We can delete these. Let's grab the delete tool, because otherwise that's going to not prove my point. Let's do that. Let's pause for a second and then corral this stuff where we want it to go, which is going to be not there, but you know, such is life, folks. Such is life. It can be annoying. There we go. Yeah, you go. Just go wherever you're going to go. Yeah, because that's what you're going to do, isn't it? There. Run that along there. Put that there. 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 Like so. And that should all be reachable. And then we're going to delete all of these before the beavers decide to be industrious and build them where I don't want them. And that will make a bunch of that accessible. Not that we need it, because we're going to be producing huge amounts of waste rock at this point. So, yeah. You should go get some repairs, sir. And I guess we'll just keep an eye on what else we have laying about that we need storage for. And deal with it as we need to. I guess we could put a medium pile there for gold nuggets, because you don't get as many gold nuggets, so you know that kind of makes sense to me. And let's actually run on a decent speed. So food wise, we have an awful lot of sad soup now. Fish oil is okay. We have not as many bugs as I would like, so I think we should put in even more bug tents. I'm happy with the population at the moment, so let's do that. We're getting our bot made, which is cool. I think we'll maybe only do one more at the moment, and we will get them building because we need more builder bots. So you can probably go there because you'll be within range of that. Let's pause you for now. Cool, so we've got some more bug tents going. You've got 85%. We could automate that, but I'm not going to. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. And pause and pause. Awesome. And then we want to unpause that. Cool. That's good. We've got 100 odd of those, so we don't need that anymore. So we can actually have even more builder bots, which is great because we have an awful lot of buildering to do. This is actually quite a time-consuming process, so I don't know how much we will get done. We'll see, I guess. You know, it's kind of how it goes, folks. It's kind of how it goes. How are we doing on the well-being stuff that we have available? So none of them have warmth, which is kind of weird. But anyway, most of them have the food things. We could do with some more campfires, and almost none of them have clean fur, which I find kind of weird. Because we are giving them access to that. I'm going to get rid of that one now. So I'm then going to put in some more of those. That'll be fine. It is all a bit of a janky, garbled mess. Words are hard, folks. Words are hard. Might make sense to remove these, turn them around, and do a load of them along there. So we can actually make all of the things. Oh, that needs mountain salt. That could be a problem. Right, let's build another one of these. That could go there, and that could be permanently on mountain salt. So what that needs is a medium pile for the rocks that we got. Yeah. And I'm going to prioritize building these things because that seems sensible. I paused the wrong one. I paused the copper one. We can actually have a couple of you working on copper. That seems sensible. Awesome. We've got our first layer of that stuff in. So they'll now do their thing, and we're going to do our thing and put in all of that. And how are we doing for explosives? We have 67. So, yes, it's a silly number. But we are grown-ups here, so we are not going to acknowledge it. What we're going to do instead is get more explosives made. Because that's what we need. But I also do think that we are going to... Actually, we could just remove... we're going to remove those. And we're going to do that. And we're going to take you. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. And we're going to do that. And oh no, it's a bad tide. How will we cope? Just fine. Because bad tides are irrelevant in this faction. I wish the water was darker. But, you know, it's just kind of is what it is, I guess. The only thing that does change in a bad tide is these bad tide drains switch on, which doesn't really have any effect. As long as we don't block this off, which at some point we will, but I guess we could use fill valves. So it's a one-way blockage. Or we can just come over here and close these. Which I think is what I did previously, because I have played on this map before. Yeah. We'll work it out before we end up completely sealing all the stuff off. Or we could divert them this way and put more flow through here. But I'm not sure I want to do that. Because I don't want to risk any floodage. So how are we looking now? Not so great on the campfire front still. I assume this counts as campfire well-being. I guess we should see when a beaver visits as to whether they get the campfire benefit. Which is why I'm just staying on it to see if someone visits. I guess as the night approaches. There we go. So let's click on you. And what's your well-being? Yes, you did. And you get +5 for it. That's pretty awesome. It discounts the -5 for the despair that you're carrying for having to build your beaver overlords. You know? We could do with more of the beaver overlords, because this is quite a time-consuming thing. So... I guess we've got an awful lot of the... So the gold can be paused. Whereas the copper can be paused, which gives us 5 spare beavers. So yeah, let's do another bot. Let's do another bot. And I think we'll move you into there. Get some more nano machines made, because that would be good. That's been built, which is good, because that's just going to stop any of the splashing going that way. Not that it matters in the bad tide, but you know, I think it's beneficial. I think it's beneficial. We will also, I think, soon have a bit of a bot die-off. Yeah, we've got 3 that are down at 13%. So we do want to start making more bots, or keep making more bots, I guess. So, because we are getting to the point where our bot population is getting old, folks, you know. Our bot population is getting old. But anyway, so yeah, because we've got this prioritized, they're going to be spending a lot of time picking stuff up. But that's fine. That's kind of how it works. And that's one of the downsides of how I make most of my videos, in that there aren't big jump cuts in the videos, you know. But you know what I do. You know how I do this stuff. So if you didn't like it, you wouldn't watch it, I assume, unless you're here hate watching. And if you're here hate watching, go watch something else, folks. You know, life's too short. Life is too short to be here watching full of hate. I am going to put you on fish oil for a bit. Can you make? You could make fish oil from petroleum. That seems kind of weird, but I guess it's because it's essentially a lubricant. But we could do with some more of that, so I'm going to let them run that for a bit, and then we'll do more bug processing. Yeah. And these guys are still picking stuff. I said this is a slow process, folks. This is a slow process. It is indeed a process. But it is partly the nature of having a relatively small workforce. You know, you can unpause you. I wonder if we need more charging and building capacity. Or building, repairing capacity. Definitely want more charging capacity. I'm going to prioritize that. Because I think that makes sense. This guy is busy trying to cut these down, and I would quite like that because we can get a bit more power storage going on, which I think would not be a bad idea. Definitely think it would not be a bad idea. These are going to be set to supply. Yep. I'm not going to prioritize them by haulers because I'm not certain they need... You don't want everything prioritized by haulers, to be honest. And I'm sure setting the supply signal should encourage the haulers to go get stuff from them. It feels to me like it should, you know? But food-wise, we're pretty good now. And we're not growing enough cabbages yet, but we have some cabbages. We've got a lot of soup, which is good. We now have quite a lot of fish oil, so let's go back to grilling our bugs. Kind of feels like we might need more than one of these. Because they're barely keeping up. I guess we could put that one on it as well. Maybe get a bit of a stockpile going. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just here playing the beaver game. Get that going, which is good. To do these drains, we'll do a specific mission. Because we will need control signals going out that far. So, yeah, we'll maybe project out from here with some control towers. And we will get to the point where we're full on storage for stuff and they'll stop picking everything up. I guess not for blocks because I built this huge block warehouse. You know. Lavy, folks. Lavy. Right, how are we doing? We could do with another. Where is our forester flag? You're there, aren't you? I'm going to put another one in because they do seem to be struggling to keep up with all of the planting. I'm going to put another one there. See if that helps. Who has nothing to do in range? You. well, that's kind of cool, actually. So you can go ski. I'm going to put you there. And I guess with how we've done that, we could put that there and then run that there. And let's just... I delete that bit of rubble? That's annoying. Lumberjack flag. You can go pick up that piece of ice. That might actually give us... That might actually allow us to put that there. But this is probably easier for from a connection point of view anyway. So... And we like easy connections. Because otherwise we'll have to do a repeat of what we did here. And that was kind of messy. So, you know. Yeah. Awesome. Thanking you. Pause you. And we can do that. And that's a lot neater. So, right, they're getting all of that put in now, finally. And that should be relatively quick. We've got 200 explosives now, which is very nice. We've got 300 nano machines, which is also quite nice. Our bot numbers will start dropping soon, I think. Yeah, we're down to 9% on 3 of them. So, I guess in a little while we'll start making another bot. As they again begin the frantic scramble to pick everything up. We do currently have another spare one, so let's chuck that in. And you, and you, and you, and you there. So we want to take this all the way down to this level. Here's the plan. And we're going to have fill words. Fill vowels in here. That's the plan. That's the plan. And I guess we could maybe start putting these in. And yeah, I'm going to use 4 fill vowels. I think that's the right level. Yeah. I think that's correct. And then we're going to want you. You can go straight across there, like so. We're going to have a bit of a problem with our cabbage farm, but you know. I guess we'll work around that. Nope, there. You, and you. And then what we can do is use the overhanging platform. It needs to be... Don't think we can overhang it there. No. Okay, so we will unplant you in time and run that out to there. So you get an idea of what I'm trying to build. And then we'll have another captive bit behind this to keep it in a pond, essentially. How long have I been going for? Okay, not too long. Cool. What's our bot robustness now? How much is it dropping per day? Like 3% a day. Okay. I'm going to start building another one because it takes nearly a day and a half to build a bot. And I don't want to be too long where we have a lower population. There will be a period where it's slightly lower. That's fine. But the amount we can minimize, the more we can minimize that, the better. Yeah. I guess we need to put you on planting as well. And they will plant still, but we're kind of hammering through the old snow. Let's expand that, I guess. Yeah, then working a bit harder. Work harder and harder. I know this work smarter, not harder. Just work harder. Yeah. So we do just have this problem with kind of where we are now, that things are time consuming. What I might suggest is that I do something a little bit like I've done with Atlantis. And between videos, just progress this. Because this is essentially quite a slow, repetitive process. You know, destroy strip mining layer and repeat. Because it's a very essentially inefficient process, but it's the process that we need to go through. So yeah, but we are about to start losing bots. We can for now grow our building force a little bit, but that will drop off. And it's quite handy having all of these ice blocks because we will make use of them, obviously. Maybe I just put that as a tick mark and just keep them here because we'll want to use a load of them soon. What else are we getting out of here? We're keeping ice blocks, rock. I guess rock is the other one. So maybe it would be beneficial if we put a large pile or rock here. No, that's copper. Rock. Let's prioritize building that and have that set to supply. Because then they don't have to go as far to unload it. And the haulers can do that. And those of you that were saying, because that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the 5 resources that come out, isn't it? So that might speed things up a bit. They're working on the next bot. I think probably we want to get some nano machines going if we're looking at mass producing bots. Looks like we've maybe had one of our bots die. Down to 4%, okay. But bot 1, 2, and 4 are nearly done. Oh, cool, that's built and recharging nicely. That's going to give us, what, 210,000 HPH stored, which is pretty nice. Our well-being is quite low, but we've got a lot of despair. So, yeah. But we need to get a lot of bots built. So there's not a lot we can do about that, because we need to restock. We've still got explosives, which is good. Iron bot 11 created. They're hanging on at 4%. They're persistent. I'll give them that. There we go. And you grab the strip mining tool. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Come on. Keep working, bots and beavers and everyone else. I guess there is no one else. Down to 3%. They're really hanging on. That last few percent is really persistent. Now, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Kind of like it, but you know. Kind of surprised. We could get rid of that, and then we can put in the platforms. And we don't. Do we need the large brain? No, we've got 177,000 science. We don't need the large brain, but you know, it's kind of nice. It's kind of cool. It's kind of the end game bit of this faction. So we shall progress towards it. Why have you got -3 well-being? You must be despairing. No, clean fur. Okay, go clean your fur then, you stupid bot. Stupid beaver. 2%. It's almost like it's slowing down the drop in well-being, which is kind of weird. We have a lot of store. Have we filled up on copper now? No. I don't think I've ever had so much storage for things. All right. I am making the executive decision, folks, that I'm going to finish this off camera, and I will come back in the next episode and we will build out the rest of the infrastructure then. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. This has probably been a much shorter video. I'm not sure. Might not have been actually. But I've got a couple more layers of this to cut out, and it's kind of pretty repetitive. We know a few bots are going to die. I'll replace those and we'll be back. And I think I'm going to hang on to a copy of the mod so that if Lapan does update it, we can maybe finish this out. Anyway, see you next time.